I'm your pocket filler, the parlay killer, the Northside thriller. Start the broadcast, subscribe with a smash, the Gorilla Sports Podcast.
Hey guys, welcome into the Gorilla Sports Podcast. I'm your host, Alex Bulpin, and it is Wednesday, September the 4th. All right, let's recap yesterday. We had 6 batter parlays going. We had 4 winners. We'll take that all the day, every day. All right, let's get into the plays. So we had Gunnar Henderson and Vladdy Guerrero. That was a winner. Then we took Francisco Lindor and we paired it with Jose Ramirez. Now, Lindor came through for us, but Jose Ramirez did not. So that sucked. I really thought Jose Ramirez, he had a great average versus Brady Singer in Kansas City. So that didn't come through for us. Our next plays, we took Steven Kwan and we paired it with Lawrence Butler. That was an easy one. That one came through for us. Our next play is we took Brian Reynolds and we paired it with Corey Seager. So no, Brian Reynolds came through. Corey Seager didn't play, so that got voided off. So it only being just under a half a unit. So that was a winner, but only about a half a unit there. Our next play is we took Aaron Judge and we paired it with Jose Miranda. Judge came through for us. Jose Miranda did not come through for us. And then we took Taylor Ward and we paired it with Jack Berger, and that was another winner. So in total, we had 11 batters going, and we had 9 of them right. So that wasn't bad at all. And actually, I kind of messed around in the evening games. I ended up putting another ticket together with like Taylor Ward, Lawrence Butler, and Corbin Carroll, actually. And that came through. Those guys are just absolutely crushing, all 3 of those guys. They're on pretty long streaks. So, so I had a pretty good night yesterday. I ended up putting like a couple of 2 bases plays together for Lawrence Butler and Taylor Ward, who both homered, so that was nice. So, yeah, pretty good day yesterday. Let's get into some action today. I've got 6 more batter parlays I like today. Let's get into them. Our first one, we're going right back to our boy, Vladdy Guerrero, and he's going versus Christopher Sanchez of the Philadelphia Phillies. What a collapse by the Blue Jays yesterday, too. It kind of ruined Vladdy's 4-hit night as they blew a 5-run lead, ended up losing 10-9 as Philly came all the way back. So Vladdy's batting .337 versus left-handed pitching. He's batting .356 at home. He's got 2 hits in 7 of his last 9 games. And he's got 7 hits over his last 2 games, 4 hits and 3 hits. Not bad at all. And we're going to pair him with Yordan Alvarez of the Houston Astros. He's on a 10-game hitting streak. He's in a nice hitter-friendly Great American Ballpark in Cincinnati today. And he's going versus Nick Martinez. And he's been giving up some hits. He's given up 5+ hits in 4 straight starts. So not great for him. And we like Alvarez in that 2 slot. I was saying that a couple of podcasts ago, that being able to have Bregman behind him, they can't keep intentionally walking him, so they're actually having to pitch to him, and he's been crushing. 10-game hitting streak. So that's our juiciest play today. It's a -125, but I still like it at that cost. Our next play is we're going right back to Jake Berger of the Miami Marlins. He's got a hit in 19 of his last 23 games. He's going versus Mackenzie Gore in Washington. Gore gives up 10.36 hits per 9, so that's a good spot for Jakey Berger. And then we're going to pair him with Taylor Ward again. This guy's on a 13-game hitting streak. He's just absolutely on fire. And I love leadoff guys. They just get up to bat that many more times, and it's just it helps come that 9th and later on in the game when you're hoping for that last hit. Now he's got 3 home runs over his last 4 games, and he's going versus Bobby Miller, who's had a really weird up and down season so far. He's given up 10.59 hits per 9, so that's a good look for those 2. You get that at a -109 price. Our next play is we're going to some big dogs. We're going to take Marcell Ozuna, and we're going to pair him with Aaron Judge. Ozuna of the Atlanta Braves going versus Bradley Blaylock of the Colorado Rockies. This rookie's given up 11.04 hits per 9. Ozuna's got a hit in 16 of his last 18 games, so that's a good spot for him. And we're going to pair him with Aaron Judge, and he's going versus Nathan Eovaldi, who's having a good season, but he crushes Eovaldi. He's 10 for his last 20 versus Eovaldi, batting .500. He's got 2 hits in 3 of his last 4. He's got a hit in 18 of his last 20 games. I like that look. And when you pair these 2 guys together, you get a -119. So not a terrible price there either. Our next play is we're going to go to Bobby Witt, and we're going to pair him with Corbin Carroll. Bobby Witt of the Kansas City Royals, he's 3 for 6. He's batting .500 versus Ben Lively. He's got a hit in 20 of his last 25 games. And we're going to pair him with Corbin Carroll of the Arizona D-backs. He's on a 13-game hitting streak, just a tale of 2 seasons. He was absolutely so bad at the beginning of the year, and now we've been riding him like crazy, and I love it. He's got 2 hits in 4 of his last 5 games as well, so he's just absolutely on fire. You pair those two guys together, you get a minus 115, so a decent price as well. Our next play is we're going to go to Stephen Kwan to get 1 hit. Now, he came through for us in the 8th or the 9th inning, very late to come through for us yesterday. Now, he's going versus Seth Lugo, and Lugo had a great start to the year, but over his last 5 starts, he's 1-3 with a 5.97 ERA, so he hasn't been pitching that well. And Kwan's 2 for 5 in 2024 versus Lugo, so that's a good spot. And we're going to pair him with Lawrence Butler, who's just on an absolute tear. He's on a 13-game hitting streak. He's got 7 home runs over his last 8 games. Came through for us yesterday with a leadoff homer. Those are always nice. And he's batting .333 versus Kirby in Seattle today. So that's a good spot for these two boys. Again, a minus 119 price. Not terrible for it. We'll take that. And our last play is we're going to go to Francisco Lindor. We've also been riding this guy like crazy. He's on a 14-game hitting streak. He's crushing for us. He's got 2+ bases in 6 of his last 8 games. And we're going to pair with Gunnar Henderson, who's back in the leadoff spot. Again, I much prefer him there. He's on a modest 4-game hitting streak. But I like him at that lead. I don't know if it's a pressure thing or it's, guys in, too many guys in scoring position that it just gets nervous and he doesn't hit well that way. I don't know if it's what it is, but him in the leadoff spot is just a better spot for him. He's going versus Jonathan Cannon of the Chicago White Sox. He's giving up 9.79 hits per 9. So that's a good spot for these two boys. And they come in at a minus 117. So not a bad price there either. After a good night yesterday, we got 6 plays going today. And then we got a live Twitter Spaces tonight at 9:30 p.m. Eastern, talking about the Thursday night football game, the Friday night football game, and all things sides, totals, player props, getting you ready for the weekend. All right, guys, you're rocking with me. Let's roll.